Hi, today we're going to learn about the landform known as canyons. You're looking at the table of contents. Remember, the table of contents helps the reader understand how a book is organized. Chapter 1, A Dark and Winding Path. Think about what this text feature in blue is called. Whisper it out loud to yourself right now. Hopefully you said heading. If you did, you're correct. A dark and winding path is the heading to Chapter 1. A long, jagged cut runs along the ground. It looks like a crack in the earth. The cut is deep. The sides are steep. Rocks cast shadows on the ground. Sunlight cannot reach the bottom of the canyon. The caption says the SIG is a canyon in Jordan. And I probably mispronounced that word. A canyon is a deep cut in the earth. In some places, the sides of a canyon are rough. In other places, the sides are smooth. Often a river is at the bottom. Canyons can be found all over the world. They are often in dry, hot areas, but they can also be underwater. Canyons can even be found on other planets. Fun fact, the largest known canyon is on Mars. The canyon is as long as the United States. Chapter 2, Water is a Mighty Force. Canyons exist because of water. The movement of water causes erosion. As the rock wears away, a canyon forms. But a canyon does not form quickly. It can take millions of years. Caption for the photograph reads, Many canyons are found when a river erodes rock. Remember the word erosion, we've heard it a lot. It means to break away. There are several types of canyons. One type is known as a plateau canyon. Over many years, a river can erode the plateau. This process forms a wide V-shaped canyon. Flash floods can make slot canyons. Slot canyons are deep and narrow. In a flash flood, a lot of water comes into an area. This moving water can erode the rock. Over time, a canyon forms. The caption reads, Over time, even small rivers can make deep cuts in a plateau. Fun fact, the deepest canyon on Earth is the Sangapo Canyon in China. Again, I'm sure I mispronounced the name of that canyon. Some sections are more than 17,000 feet deep, 5,000 meters. Floodwater can also run into cracks in the rock. If the water freezes, it expands. This can break the rock apart. This process can create slot canyons as well. Canyons can be underwater too. These canyons are often found where a river meets the ocean. This happens at the outer edge of a continent. The river's current makes the water move. The water pours into the ocean. It flows over the continental shelf. The current erodes the ocean floor. Over time, a submarine canyon forms. That picture, Antelope Canyon in Arizona, is a slot canyon. Looks beautiful. Chapter 3, Visual History. Canyons are made up of many layers of rock. Each layer formed at a different time. The lowest layers are the oldest. The highest layers are the youngest. Each layer formed in different conditions. Caption reads for the photograph, rock layers take many years to form. Some layers may have formed when the climate was wet. Other layers may have formed when the climate was dry. Scientists study them carefully. They learn how the climate has changed over time. Canyons also help scientists learn about ancient animals. When animals die, they may become fossils. When a new fossil is found, Scientists study the rock around it. The age of this rock can help determine the age of the fossil. The caption by the photograph says, "Rock layers show scientists how a canyon has changed over time." Fun fact: Fish River Canyon is in Africa. Parts of the canyon are 1,800 feet or 550 meters deep. The deepest rocks are more than 2 billion years old. The highest rocks are 200 to 550 million years old. Other fossils in the same layer are the same age. This helps scientists learn what animals were alive at the same time. Canyons change very slowly, but erosion is always happening. A canyon's layers may show patterns in erosion. The pattern can help scientists predict what the canyon will look like in the future. The caption reads, "Erosion helped make some of the fossils in Red Rock Canyon visible." Fun fact: Red Rock Canyon is in California. It has fossils that are 8 to 12 million years old. These include bones from extinct elephants, saber-toothed cats, and ancient alligators. Landforms of the world, the Grand Canyon, which is here in the United States. The Grand Canyon is in Arizona. Scientists believe it began forming more than 2 billion years ago. The Colorado River carved the canyon over many years. The Grand Canyon erodes approximately 1 foot every 200 years. Today, the Grand Canyon is home to more than 1,500 types of plants. More than 500 kinds of animals live there too. One is the California condor. This bird is rare and endangered. Scientists raise baby condors to release into the wild. In this way, they tried to prevent condors from becoming extinct. The Grand Canyon is a plateau canyon. Notice how it's flat on the top. So plateaus look like mountains that got chopped off, and they are flat across the top. Chapter 4, Layers of Life. Canyons are often in dry areas, but the environment inside a canyon varies. The top of a canyon is warmer than the bottom. It gets light from the sun. This area has the most animals and plants. The caption here says, "A bighorn sheep looks over the edge of the Grand Canyon." The deeper parts are cooler. These parts are darker too. They do not get much light. Some plants and animals can live here, but these animals do not need as much sunlight to survive. Canyons are home to a wide variety of life. Many amphibians and reptiles live in canyons. Fish live in the rivers at the bottom. Birds often live near the top of a canyon. The caption for the photograph says, "Rivers at the base of many canyons provide water for plants and animals." Fun fact: people also live in or near canyons. There is evidence of human life in the Grand Canyon from as early as 13,000 years ago. Bighorn sheep have special hooves they use to climb the rocky sides. Coyotes and mountain lions prowl canyons too. Cacti, ferns, and wildflowers all grow in different areas. Submarine canyons have different wildlife. Fish and eels can be found in these canyons. Algae and water plants grow on the rocks. Anemones and coral live there as well. So the photograph says, anemones in submarine canyons can provide homes for certain kinds of fish. If you've seen the movie Nemo, Nemo was a little clownfish similar to the one that's in this picture, and then he lived in an anemone. And the purple kind of looks like a plant with little fingers. That is the anemone. Fun fact: scientists use underwater vehicles to explore submarine canyons. These vehicles have helped scientists discover many new kinds of sea creatures. And that's it. We're at the end of our book. Again, if you want to do any extra questions or learning, feel free to do this on your own time. If there were any words in here you were unsure of, here is the glossary. You can always look them up to learn more about things. Here's more books. And there is the index with the main concepts. And we are finished with our book.